Sadie.
It's time for Clue, everybody. First, do we want some trials?
Look at this.
Yes.
Can you please explain to me what the hell that means?
Saying that, he's saying his, guns are, amazing / he's muscular.
The best part is I found this at 4 a.m. and sent it to DK at 4 a.m. Alright, start the game. Alright, hey everyone, it's RockMan and Ratmus and Sadie and Super Mario Odyssey. Hoo hoo, no one saw it coming. This is part 10.
And my phone, I want you to describe to nobody, look how I have to, that's how I have to charge it, the only way it will.
I thought you got a new phone.
They have to order it to the store.
And when the hell's that gonna get there?
They said 3 to 5 business days, and that was, 6 days ago.
6 business days ago?
So, if it's 5 business days, or then maybe on Friday they will get it.
So how's the volume, chat?
Howdy, partner.
Manakemia is Cappy's favorite game. Where's that checklist?
Let's do the metrosexual kingdom.
You're gonna jump rope 100 times and not stop until you get it, right?
That's what chat wants, right? Chat wants all the bad, ones waited till the end.
What is this? Congrats, you no longer have to wait for manual emote reviews. Your emotes will now be available immediately. Well, that would have been good to know a month and a half ago when I was actually making new emotes and it took 2 fucking weeks.
Something that could have been brought to your attention yesterday, in other words.
Exactly.
I should get the Bowser,
should got a lot of things, alright?
I should get laid. Remember that wonderful DVD where my friend gets laid and I get fat paid?
I remember where the penguin got fat paid. No way he didn't.
Not yet, he didn't.
But Nigma got laid.
There's some video, I didn't click on it, but maybe it's some one of the more recent incarnations of the Riddler. It's Buff Riddler.
What if Buff Riddler met Buff Nixon?
Yes. Great. Crossover we all want. Classic Mario over there.
What are you doing, Ratmus?
Joy-Con slipped off my lap.
That's what I call Joy-Con drift.
Call Way of the Future Jack.
That's what we call the cut.
That's what we call what's the phone number. Say fuck you, Mario.
Like Mary owned.
Where's the princess? I was fixated on that one coin. Do I have to stab Bowser in the nuts? Just as many fucking times as that won't, bitch. Just jump on a taxi and bang your head on a lamppost because you bounce high. Damn flying taxis. This was 2015. That guy said bitch on the first day. Should be ads for Donkey Kong cereal here. I'd be disappointed. What are you reading?
How to play Dynasty Warriors?
I'm doing right.
How do I get a fucking horse saddle?
Full bullshit, let's just say. Scooter. Park there so they can charge me crazy amounts of money. Damn, son.
Is there a way to just play any level you want with anyone you want?
Yeah, free play or whatever.
Do you have to have already played the Musa mode to unlock the levels, or
You might have to do that to unlock the levels. And also you need obviously people that can play it. It's a Stone Luigi. Oh shit! There's the coin. That's why we need the fucking. Tip this son of a bitch over and fall into the blades, you know what I'm saying?
oh, I know what you're saying.
These fuckers. Someone say dental scythe. Can you hear? doing? We got Sadie here. How's your life been? How's summer? Those things up.
Yes. Wow.
Grinding and not in a good way. It's worth it. What'd you have for lunch, Doom?
Lloyd, him.
Got an ad from Red Robin saying you should, have wine with your burger.
Got an ad from Red Robin saying, "Yum."
That too. Should have checked Gold Room, everybody.
Whoa. Doom, I'm looking at a walkthrough for Dynasty Warriors 4. And yeah, Ratmus is telling me that like you can play any level in free mode. And like I'm trying to figure out like how to unlock a horse saddle for one, because if you have a horse saddle, then you start every level on a horse. But it's like for every single one, you have to do a specific battle, and you have to do a specific set of like requirements. Like you have to defeat this generals in this order and this quickly, and then like you get the item or something. So it's like I would have to like go to free mode and see like, okay, can I play this level? Can I do this requirements if I want this horse? Yeah. And I think because I failed that non-mon level, I don't know if I'm going to even be able to unlock their Musou mode. It's like the same thing if I want level 10 weapons. Like everyone's level 10 weapon, like you have to go to a specific level with a specific set of conditions and like defeat certain generals or do this, that, or the other. Oh, mustard. That's just a great quote out of context. So yeah, I don't know.
Say Muso mustard mode. So,
Yeah, and you were talking like, oh, how much did me and Ratmus do, or how long did it take? I mean, there's like 42 characters in the game, I think, and we unlocked all 42 characters and maxed out, I'm sure, all 42 characters and got everyone's level 10 weapon and level 11 weapon, and we must have like thought about it. We must have played like the game for like 400 hours over the course of like 2 years, right?
Yes. That's what he did back in those days.
I mean, what else was there to do in 2004, right?
Play the Mario Sunshine.
I ask you again,
Every gold coin, damn it.
Obviously had a lot more fun in Dynasty Warriors than Ratmus was going to college, right?
Mm-hmm.
Than I did in well, actually, that was when did I go back to college and start doing Anime Club? I think I was around 2004, 2005. 2000.
Okay, that got me up here, aka nowhere.
But yeah, I mean, for the sake of the stream, I I am certainly not going to 100% the game. I'm not going to unlock every character. I'm not going to max everyone out, get all the weapons. I just, I thought that maybe at the minimum I should try to do every Musou mode, but now I'm not even sure I'm going to do that. And I would just like a horse because it would make levels easier.
These rocking out snails.
Sure.
Can you help me get some moons here? Let's see what.
DK's just tweeting all sorts of shit. What are Moon 16 in the Metrosexual Kingdom?
Yes.
At the outdoor cafe, the player should reach the lower rooftop and locate a pile of birds on the building. If the player ground pounds the spot...
What do you mean a bird? You said birds on the building?
I mean, I hope you know where this is because there's, a million fucking buildings in this level, and how the fuck do I know which one they're talking about?
Yes. That's how wall kicks work, everybody. It's totally the moon.
Yeah, then I got 4 or 5 hours of sleep because I woke up at 8:30 with a leg cramp and couldn't get back to sleep very much. The fucking cleaning people showed up at 9:30 or something, and Ratmus showed up at 11. The problem we have in my house right now, is that when it gets hot, my parents turn on the air conditioning, and just the way our air conditioning works, it doesn't fucking work properly. So what it basically does is it fucking blasts cold air into the basement like it's a fucking open door refrigerator just blasting cold air. And then the cold air that's supposed to go up through the vents and come out on the first floor and the second floor, doesn't come up at all. So it can be it seems like it's 80 degrees on the second floor, 70 degrees on the first floor, and 60 degrees in the basement is how it seems. And again, I don't have, that's why several years ago I bought some thermometers in Wisconsin so I could monitor the temperature down here, but they all kept breaking and stopped working, so I have no way to monitor what the temperature is down here. All I know is it's fucking freezing. Ramini's cleaning out her...
I ground pounded to go down and I landed on the spot.
Nice. Ramimi is cleaning out her binders full of women, because that's what you keep in binders.
Number 17.
At the rooftop garden area, the player can find a fucking rabbit.
At the rooftop garden area? You might as well just go to the top and look down at stuff. So, he has a, Charizard, right?
It's a roof with 1 tree, 3 bushes, an orange cone, and a bench with 2 bozos on it. Is that it right there?
That over there?
No, that's not it. It's got too many trees. I've got binders full of Star Trek, the cards. Next week I might have more news to report about Star Trek the card game.
Whoa. Yesterday I went to the DMV, spent an hour and a half in the sun waiting to get inside, and another half hour inside. And what really pisses me off is I went in there because I wear glasses, so like I need to get an eye exam, and they just waived the eye exam. Like you no longer need that for the time being because they don't want you touching that. But I couldn't get the stupid real ID because the documentation I got for like needs to be within 90 days, which it was back in like in early April when I was gonna go. But, obviously wasn't now. And the guy just had this attitude like, fuck you, it ain't my problem, bitch. No! Shit. Like, I don't think I'm really sunburned, but I'm pretty well tanned, I think.
Now here's the part where you tell everyone what you thought of the episode 4 of Star Trek Picard.
Fucking Romulans. Romulan got frickin' beheaded. That's just what.
Yeah, there was a Romulan who just comes up with a frickin' sword and beheaded some other Romulan, and yeah, he didn't say there could be only one. He didn't have a quickening, but I guess he should have, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and again, I'm pissed because in the last 30 seconds of the episode, a famous character shows up out of nowhere, and it would have been a great surprise if it hadn't been fucking spoiled months ago because of the internet.
Speaking of that, I don't think I got here. But like, our
Just take
dad
a
waited,
dump in there.
2 hours in line to get, 7 and 9's autograph years ago. That was just one of his greatest achievements in life.
Is this okay? I think this moon, or possibly 2 moons. There's a harder version. Yeah, there's a harder version later on the dark side where it's basically the same thing except you don't have the motorcycle. Star Trek Picard. Just do it without a motorcycle. You have to later.
I'm not Picard. Cisco said that.
I think it's okay. It's obviously not as good as the good old real Star Trek, but it's much better than the recent show Star Trek Discovery, so I'm at least happy about that. Yeah, if you wanted the second moon, you needed to go up that direction.
These tank controls.
I mean, this is so much harder without that bike. But you can do that again, and I'm sure you'll get the thing within a couple tries. But yeah, I mean, I've told this story before, but yeah, I don't remember where or how, but our dad went somewhere and waited 2 hours in line to get Jerry Ryan's autograph, who played 7 of 9 on Star Trek Voyager, and for some reason he got a life-size cardboard cutout of 7 of 9 and got her autograph on it. And if you guys don't know 7 of 9, let me just bring up a freaking picture of her. I'm pretty sure this might actually be the cardboard cutout, life-size cardboard cutout, is this picture, signed by her. But see, then, the funny thing is, a year or 2 after that, I went to a convention with a friend of mine, and there was a thing where you could stand in line to get people's autographs, right? So there was one line to stand in line for her autograph and this other guy. So my friend and I are standing in line to get this guy's autograph and that woman's autograph, 7 of 9. And then they make an announcement that this guy, this actor, has to leave early for some reason. So if there's anyone in line who wants just this guy's autograph, but not 7 of 9, you can skip ahead, get this guy's autograph, but not 7 of 9. And like everyone in the fucking line was like, you know, this guy's great and all, but he's not 7 of 9. Screw that. Who would ever want to skip 7 of 9 to see this guy? But since I already had her autograph on a giant cardboard cutout and I really wanted that guy's autograph, I was like, yes, I will skip the fucking line, skip getting 7 of 9's autograph to go see this guy because he's leaving.
Because he's awesome.
And, you know, I'm sure some people thought I was gay. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But it was, you know, a different time. It was 1998 or something, right?
It's like a gay guy, like, you know, even I'm like, what the fuck?
And the person that I was with was a girl who actually hated 7 of 9 because she's like, you know, she's too sexualized, she's ruining the show, so that's why she didn't want her autograph. So did you ever find this fucking garden, or are you still looking for it?
I've still been looking, but I've seen other things. I'm like, oh, I'll just go there.
You got distracted, yes. So that's my wonderful... Yes, they're definitely I mean...
Oh, shit.
It's weird, though, because... I mean, we could get into a whole discussion on that. Like, I go back and watch the original series, and it is so weird. Like I think it's like the most sexist fucking show that's ever on television. Like, there's literally an episode that says women cannot be captains, you know, of Starfleet. They literally said that in the original series, like, for one thing. And, like, yeah, like, all the things about how, like, you know, there's all these, like, alien babes in, like, skimpy clothes and mini skirts, and, you know, Kirk's fucking them, and Orion slave girls, and, you know, this, that, or the other. Like, that, yeah, I mean, that's all true, but it was, you know, they were wearing mini skirts. You know, it was sexualized, but it was sexualized in that 1960s way.
Remember, like, first season of Next Gen where that dude was wearing one of them?
I mean, then there's an episode of Star Trek The Next Generation where the two women, you know, Troy and Crusher, are literally doing 80s aerobics in 80s, like, aerobics outfits, which is, like, really cringy to watch and, you know, but also slightly, you know, arousing. But then, and then let me go back to 7 of 9 for a second.
Just look and see.
I mean, as sexualized as, you know, the original series might have been in a way, I don't think you would have seen something like this on 1960s television, right? And then I'm gonna talk about the next thing as soon as I find a picture of what I'm looking for. So then, the show Star Trek Enterprise, which premiered in 2001, it got a little bit more sexualized. Like, there was a Vulcan character named T'Pol, and for some reason they decided to, like, use every fucking excuse to, like, sexualize her. And they had this thing because, like, whenever they would go on it takes place, like, 100 years before Kirk, so things are a little more primitive. So, like, whenever they would go on an away mission, they would come back and they'd be like, we have to decontaminate you. We don't know what types of alien microbes you might have. You know, you might have the alien coronavirus or something. So then they invented this decontamination chamber where they would have the characters, like, strip down to their underwear and start rubbing gel on each other. And, like, it even had, like, partial nudity on television. Like, here's a typical scene from, you know, this Star Trek show. And, like, a lot of people, like, complained, like, what are you doing? Like, this is, like, over sexualizing Star Trek, which has come a long way from the 60s, I guess. And there was even an episode that had nothing to do with that. I think the ship was maybe taken over by bad guys, and so one of the female officers was crawling around in the air vents, John McClane style, and then she comes out of the air vent and just accidentally loses her entire shirt and is totally topless for no reason.
Classic Star Trek.
Which is great if you're a 12-year-old boy, I'm sure, but I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it was a thing that was complained about a lot at the time. Like, what are you doing? Here's another picture of the decontamination. Anyways, I don't know if anyone... I'm totally not using this as an excuse to post, sexy pictures on my stream, which I'll totally get banned from Twitch for doing. So, yeah. Why were we talking about this?
I don't know. Oh, here's the rabbit.
Yeah, so, okay, Ratmus finally found the rabbit. You get me talking about Star Trek, and, I'll just go off.
It's the bed, everybody. You can just walk over to this side here.
Yeah, so, I mean, Doom, have you heard all this stuff on Twitter about, these DMCA things? Apparently on Twitch it's not good enough anymore that they mute the VODs. If you use copyrighted music, they want to give you a copyright strike. So, can I ever stream Late Night DOS Wheel of Fortune with music ever again?
Alright, number 18.
I don't think I can stream Thrasher, Skate, and Destroy. Even if the VOD gets muted, I don't think I can stream that because I'll get a copyright strike, right? For playing Run DMC and fucking Cool in the Gang. 18, you said?
Yeah.
From the new Donk City Hall rooftop, the player should look for a trash container on top of an iron girder to the east.
Okay.
Oh, that's because there are no details. Twitch has not officially said anything because they don't care. They don't want to do anything. They don't want to get sued, so they'll just delete your channel. And
exit east. So you say it's a dumpster? Oh, over here. Okay.
yes, go dumpster diving.
How come I'm supposed to get there?
Long jump from the City Hall rooftop.
In the best spot.
What? Mom texted me 2 hours ago and said, you should go on Mojo's Antigo Yelp review. It's hilarious.
Spoilers, I didn't long jump. I just fell here because that platform is great. 21.
That's so stupid. I mean, first of all, that's back in 2017 when they were at a different location. Second of all, the last time Song and I were there, the employee was very nice, and they had a great selection, and it was a great experience, so don't listen to that asshole.
You just have to post a better one, right?
Okay, what next?
21.
Oh, God. In the park near the Main Street entrance checkpoint, the player can find 3 seeds. Mario must take one of these seeds to a flower pot located on top of a building in the southwestern corner of the kingdom. So the next 3 are all seeds, and apparently the seeds are all in the same place, but the pots are in different locations.
Shit.
Season 4 of Gotham. Did I ever tell you, Ramimi, that when we watched the first episode of Gotham, I can't even remember individual seasons or whatever happened, but when we watched the first episode of Gotham, at the end of it, the Penguin kills a man for a sandwich, and Ratmus and I always thought that his name Cobblepot was hilarious. So Ratmus said that episode should be called Cobblepot Kills a Man for a Sandwich. So then I thought that idea was funny. So for every episode of Gotham, I made up my own title that always has like Cobblepot, did something, blah, 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 like as the name of the episode based on, what the Penguin did in that episode.
This Toad wants a song that's revving an engine. I played a race one. He's like, it ain't quite right.
Let me see. He requests revving an engine. Only the RC car music.
Where's that?
Yes, he would. And yes, I did. Or maybe.
Lake Lemonade.
Also, there's some episodes where where I almost said the Cobblepot. There's some episodes where the Cobblepot, the Penguin, doesn't appear. So we basically called those Cobblepot has a spa day because we said that he went off to the spa, right?
Yeah. Might not have it.
Oh, God! Well, I think there's a moon in this kingdom involving RC cars, so maybe you have to do that.
That's where I did that. Still already with Speedwagon, right?
The coronavirus?
I found one of the pots, but where are those seeds?
I'm trying to tell you how to... So I think just like Koopa... Wait, you... Okay, this is... Okay, no, it's not this. It's like right next to that car that you just saw. There's a building. You need to go in the building and complete a mini game in there. I will get you those names, Ramimi, eventually.
building right here. It's like a Mario Party game and Mario Kart without tilt controls.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. We're maybe using points. Which is the... I'm looking for a specific... Would you say you're in season 4, Ramimi? Is that right? I think there might be a harder race. Do that again. Let me look that up. I call that one Cobblepot Gets Set Up.
Network affiliate. That counting motherfucker. Yeah, 26 seconds. Okay, yeah, I'll do that later.
All right. Well, I'll give you seasons 1. I'll give you seasons 1, 2, and 3.
What about Donkey Does Dallas for volumes 1, 2, and 3?
Shut up, Ratmus. And I'm sending them to you on Discord, by the way. Let me see if there's any ones that I can... I mean, most of these aren't really funny. I don't think. Cobblepot gets a lesson in hubris. Cobblepot opens for kiss. Cobblepot prefers smooth peanut butter. Here's one I mentioned earlier. The Riddler is Nigma, and the Penguin is Cobblepot. Nigma gets laid, Cobblepot does not get fat paid, which is an old Ratmus joke that I won't explain, because it's impossible to explain. Cobblepot, I am your father, when he meets his father, right?
This is Pee Wee Herman, by the way.
Yes.
Just like in the movie.
Cobblepot has played Resident Evil. I don't remember how that became relevant. Cobblepot gets gay. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Cobblepot dies for love, question mark? Cobblepot Enigma escape. Okay, so I know there's some funnier ones in the later seasons too. Mirakudu?
Remove so many effing stickers.
No removing stickers.
Carl, get out of my way, bitch. the American.
Should you really be wearing that outfit in these times, Ratmus?
Yes. Other thieves that are too busy infatuated with this idiot. Guessing it would be
Isn't Farrell that guy who wears the Arby's hat?
probably that Pharrell or whatever.
Gammon.
This music is the tits. Alright, there's one down.
No, wait, that's one of ours.
Where's the next one?
Good question. The other two are on rooftops. One of them is in the southwestern corner, and one of them is in the building next to the slots minigame. What Frab's Dookie?
Full Frabus turns clockwise.
Why is the phrase boycott A&E trending? A&E was Ratmus and I's childhood, club that we made up with our best friends. How dare you?
Exactly. Alright, said one was on another rooftop. I got the one near the slots. You said it was, I think, southwest corner.
Yeah, I said southwest corner. Are they talking about the TV channel A&E? Because, the TV channel A&E, which stands for Arts and Entertainment, is this. But the thing that's trending on Twitter is this. Which I was like, well, that's clearly something else that I'm not familiar with. Because that's not the name of the TV network, you dumbass.
Now we get up the fire escape. Here's the third one, so that wasn't so bad, but I still have to wait.
They are actually talking about the A&E network. I have no idea why.
What's 25?
In the northeastern corner of the kingdom, on top of a building, the player can find a parking space built for motor scooters. If you take the motor scooter all the way up there...
I saw that asshole.
You tell that asshole.
Yeah.
I think it's better to just boycott Twitter. Because
Exactly.
all it is horribleness.
All it is horse shit.
Maybe once a week, Doom saying that he's going to stream, but mainly horribleness.
The best part of the...
Doom, did you find all those Chaos Hearts or whatever they're called? Ah! See, shit like this just reminds me of one of those Lego Batman games where it was all about fucking climbing up rooftops and not being able to fly up there. have to park it exactly, of course, I assume.
Gotta do it perfect, jackass. That's a wonderful business model. Thank you. Come again. Sure. On my spine.
What if you want Super Madeline and Gen 2?
26.
Bench friends? Near the crazy cap shop, the player can find a lonely person on a bench, sit right next to him and don't care about the coronavirus.
Start coughing. Bring him a football.
Football! Did you watch a video came out, I think, yesterday about AVGN talking about the movie in Trolls 2?
I've seen other reviews of it, but I didn't watch his yet.
That was pretty fucking funny because it's not a review of Trolls 2. It's a crazy story about this crazy Italian movie that makes no sense and is insane. Boy, I tell you what, you got propane over here.
This is my city.
How did you sit down?
I just... Oh, there we go.
Yeah, it's like apparently in the movie Trolls 2 for like a few seconds they show the characters watching a crazy movie with a gorilla like and a golden egg, and he was like, what the hell movie is that? And like he finally figured out that it was this crazy Italian movie that makes absolutely no sense and is insane. And
I guess that makes sense because the guy who made Trolls 2 was Italian.
Yeah, and it was pretty funny. Like it was just the way James, explained everything, and he was laughing at the ridiculousness of it all. What?
29.
That's jump rope.
30. Also jump rope.
Yeah, you need to get 30 jumps, which you should totally be able to do, and then 100.
Let's see.
I should totally be able to do that.
What are you doing back here?
What else is going on YouTube these days?
Lots of stuff. From lots of different places.
It's great how I've never heard of the Amiga CD32 until like a year ago when like it blew up online, and like AVGN and like every other person on YouTube was all of a sudden doing a review of the Amiga CD32 system. But yeah, I got a video today of somebody reviewing some games for it. And I got spammed with Fish Waffle Majora's Mask music. Did the Runaway Guys release part 2 of Game 12 yet?
They released the Kraken.
No, they have not. The computer? Possibly, but I mean, this is an obscure game system, so... I don't think the CD32 is popular in Europe, but at least I don't think it was popular anywhere. You gotta like walk away until they start doing it again. I already mentioned the heavy burger, so...
Okay, now it starts. fucking.
Just fucking. Trying to match some of the Wally Farm, trying to get. Can I though? Can I really?
This is how you do it. Oh yeah. All right, 35.
And the sewers leading to the underground power plant. Oh God.
Where the fuck is that?
You just have to remember. Wait, have you collected all 4 power moons from the band members?
I might have.
Is that what allowed you to go into the underground power plant? Because I know you've done that. Wall kicks always work at least 50% of the time.
Fucking butt slide.
So like right at the end of this big horrible room, instead of going in the pipe, you want to like make the teeter-totter go the other way, I think, so you can get to a different ledge. Anyone else is here? Absolute hell.
Other shit is toxic.
Sunny D brand purple stuff is toxic. So we forgot to tell Doom, what you made for lunch and dinner. Ratmus cooked on the grill bratwurst that we had frozen for 11 months that we got at Maplewood Meats 11 months ago. Good job.
Once the weight kicks worked. Say what?
Yes, it was totally worth the wait. And I told Ratmus to get something as a side dish, and at our grocery store we have this big tub of potato salad that my dad has bought a couple times and like ate almost the whole thing by himself, and it's just like regular, I guess. But then Ratmus, at whatever store he went to, he got this Meyer. He got the same brand of potato salad, but this one said Southern style with egg. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And like, it was basically the same except a little creamier, is what it is. So I thought that was kind of weird. Where's Song so I can tell her I had Southern style potato salad? See, I think
Deep South.
we have to somehow survive that thing lifting up and get to the other side.
I fucked up my timing because I didn't think that was
Of course you fucked it up.
even a fucking clock is the right time twice a day.
That's what Bashir said, right? It's that easy.
Sewer tripping, yo.
Get me the hell out of here.
36.
Celebrating in the streets, moons in the sheets.
Yes.
During the New Donk City Festival. How do you do that again?
Do you just go in that one room?
Need more information about this one.
She has a quiz. Who's she bad with?
Fixing machines.
Fixing elections. Machines. Cake. What if it's a lie?
She's basically cyan,
And a pantsuit.
except not at all.
Fix machines. Go on walks.
Doesn't even have this question, does it?
I don't see that there.
Probably that, I would guess. Doesn't have this question either. Is this on here?
I don't see it either.
I've looked at 2 guides online, and neither one of them have all the questions she's asking. What?
It's Cloud Kingdom. Show us Final Fantasy VII. That didn't do anything. What the fuck? Talk to this guy. Says you want to go to the festival.
Apparently you had to get 4 questions right in a row, and then you need to give her a handbag.
Oh, the handbag.
Well, we'll never know, Doom, because that's all it said, and I tried to click the link, and it was, like, acting all weird, and I thought it was a virus, so...
Her home.
That's fucking easy.
What is it? Let's see that video.
This area that's upside down. The video made it seem like it was immediate, but they just cut this part out.
Let's get high.
So jump on top of those question blocks.
Okay.
Now hit hidden blocks and get up into a pipe.
Out of here, damn it.
That would be insulting to Pauline.
This was insulting.
The fact that you want to give her a handbag is sexist, so.
She should be giving me something with hand in it.
DK Dustin Kraft.
Oh shit. Need the hammer.
Nothing is as sexist as Star Trek. Nothing.
Ah, shit.
Like, the last episode of the original series that ever aired, the plot is, and I'm not making this up, there was a female Starfleet officer who was told that she could never be a captain, so she went insane and turned into a sociopath and came up with this thing that, like, put her consciousness into Kirk's body so that she could be a man and captain a starship, and she was also insane. That's a real episode. That was the final episode.
And like the third season just like go off the rails once.
Well, yes. Yes, it did.
It was up here.
Yeah, there were 2 times in my life where I tried as hard as I could to watch the original series, and I watched like 10 episodes or so and just gave up. And then finally, like, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, I bit the bullet and actually forced myself to watch every single fucking episode.
Meanwhile, my girlfriend's mom loved it so much she had her dad audio recorded so she could listen to it.
Yeah. I mean, Song's parents love the original series. Well, at least her mom does a lot. And Next Generation. I mean, yeah, I may have told this story before, but when I was in late high school and early college, you know, like the main portable audio that I had was still a cassette tape player. And I think I took like 1 episode of The Next Generation, 1 episode of Deep Space Nine. Actually, I think I took 2 episodes. 1 or 2 episodes of like each series, Next Gen, DS9, and Voyager, and I recorded them onto a cassette tape. So like when I was on a train or driving or something, I could listen to an episode that I had picked, like 1 or 2.
Now you can just watch that shit on your phone.
Except I will never do that.
Oh, that lovely place I don't know how to get to. It's got a pipe. So somewhere around here there's got to be a pipe, I guess.
Smoke a pipe.
I'll have to smoke a pipe. Did Sadie escape or is she just laying down over there?
She's given up on life over there, okay? Yes. Just freaking long jump to it. Is this actually gonna work?
Did.
Holy shit.
It's the intended way to get here.
Probably, because I'm assuming the pipe just takes you back, maybe, and the rocket will take you somewhere lovely.
I'll get you high. I will take you back. I've been here before. The question, I guess, is no. This is where where I do all my training, because clearly I look like a guy that is always training.
Saiyan training?
The guy wants to be the new Robin. We would appreciate that.
Yeah, in that Lego Batman, I think it was Lego Batman 3. It had like I think it was Nightwing, or maybe it was every version of Robin, but like some or all versions of Robin could do acrobatics on poles just like this. And there were a lot of buildings where like you could fly to the top, but you couldn't do what you needed to do. The game forced you to climb up and do a whole shitload of platforming, and sometimes with Nightwing, doing shit like this, sometimes with other characters to unlock like gold bricks and other shit. It was so like tedious as fuck that like that's where I started to like stop liking Lego games because of that.
Okay.
Wow. Ow.
I thought I had some momentum to jump to the side, but clearly not.
Were you there when Lizard made that Batman and Robin joke? No?
I don't think I was either.
Oh, wait, was it about him wearing black? Yes, that was hilarious. Did you hear that, Ratmus?
No.
It was like, why does Batman always wear black?
Why is that?
Because he doesn't want to get shot. Now, why does Robin always wear bright colors?
So that he gets shot instead of Batman?
Yes, because Batman doesn't want to get shot. Yes, is the answer. Which is hilarious. But I mean, Batman is perfectly capable of not getting shot, especially by Alfred. If we remember that wonderful clip from the old movie serials. I think that Doom. I think we found it on YouTube and showed it to Doom. But I wonder, has Ramimi ever seen that scene?
Where he was being murdered?
Yeah.
That choreography was.
Oh,
like
look at this. 15 minutes ago, the Runaway Guys Wheel of Fortune Game 12 Part 2 just came out after I was asking about it. So did you get both moons and all the purple coins in that hellhole of an area?
Well, look at this.
Did you get both moons here?
I don't even know where here is.
From outer space? Mimi, I'm trying to find a clip on YouTube of Batman that you will love if you've never seen it before. Let's see. I'm not even sure what to search for. You dropped your laptop on the floor?
That's not good. Satellite surfing is where it's at. Why can't I go into the light?
I'm searching for Batman movie serials, and like, there's just so much Batman stuff that's coming up that's not.
I think I had to like search for the whole thing and then just like find it.
Well, here's the thing that says Batman 1943 movie, but then again, I don't know which serial it was from. This says all fight scenes.
Well, this is not what it is.
Was Robin in both of those?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, it's definitely the 1943 one. So yeah, I guess I could find the scene from here. Might take some time. Was that the one with Daka? Is that his name?
Dappa.
Dappa? Who's Dappa?
Ammonium Dappa. Or like they crash into the...
Is this it?
It might be. Yeah, I think that's the part right where...
Yeah, okay.
Oh, there's a bird.
Alright, Ramimi, I'm going to give you a YouTube video that I want you to watch a couple minutes of. I have the sound turned off, but... Okay, let's see. Alright, this video will start you at somewhere around the 50-minute mark. So basically watch from like 15:20 to 52:20. So like the 2 minutes from where that video starts. And Doom, you can rewatch it again if you want some hilarity. You should. Again, I'm not listening to the sound or anything, but I'm pretty sure that's hilarious.
Here's the cab, I think you can watch.
Oh yeah, have you been in this place before?
I don't think so. Unless you were... There's like a place that forced you to do at one point, and that's it.
I don't know. Okay, so are there purple coins here?
Nope.
Okay, well, one thing you have to do is obviously get those things. There's probably something else to do, but I don't remember. Alright, first of all, the moons here are 41 and 42. Do you have them? I don't know why you do this and to find out we already had these.
Nope.
Okay. So the hidden moon is look for a hidden metal box located on an iron girder. Shoot and destroy. Yes, and hell, since Ramimi posted this on Discord, you know what, I'll go ahead and put this in my funny thing. Let's hear.
Okay, I think that was it. My homie family.
Oh, that's the wrong fucking link. Shit. I should have copied this link. There we go. check that out too. Funny, it's not in my recommended videos. Whatever, I found it. I think to shoot the moon, I think I have to get to it. Good question. Just do it.
House is under siege.
Behold, the ultimate warp zone. What does Captain N say about that?
Like Warp Zone 4 of Super Mario Brothers?
What the hell does Warp Zone 4 mean? Like, the Warp Zone in World 4? Like 4-2?
I guess.
Or the warp zone to get to level 4, as in 1-2. Like, what the hell is he talking about?
It's still funny. My TP were custom out, he's like, no.
You made me call that a feast. Sinful feast.
Close in the choreography in that fight amazing.
Speaking of, I mean, yeah, you know, I thought of, behold, the ultimate warp zone. Yes. But there's another thing, like, Doom, have you ever watched Babylon 5? Like, even a single episode?
Even for a minute?
Even for a minute? Actually, this is funny because, whoa, hey song. When Time Tracks was originally on, a lot of times it seemed like Babylon 5 was on right before Time Tracks, and I didn't watch Babylon 5 back then, so I would record Time Tracks, and I have like 1 or 2 tapes of Time Tracks, where like before every episode, there's like the last minute of the Babylon 5, and I would watch those last minutes, you know, before the Time Tracks, and it would be just so weird, you know, not knowing what the hell was going on. And I think one of these scenes is the scene that I'm about to describe. I think is one of those scenes that I saw and was like, what the fuck? So there's this alien played by Bill Mummy. You guys remember Bill Mummy, right? The little kid from Lost in Space?
He was in the Disney movie Rascal that we talked about.
Yes, just, you know, tell Doom the Disney movie and he'll know who he is. Let me see if can I find a picture of... I was wondering if I could find a picture of him, like, both as a normal human and as his alien character, but really, no. anyways, here's a picture of his character on Babylon 5. He's an alien named Lanier, okay? So there's this weird... I don't know. I don't remember why. I don't... Again, like, from the perspective of, like, I've never seen the show. I don't know why this is happening. This is just what happened. At the end of the episode, one of the human characters was trying to restore a motorcycle, and for some reason, this guy, Lanier, this alien, took it upon himself to help him restore this motorcycle from Earth. And he says, you know, just picture this alien guy saying this. He says, "Behold, the Kawasaki Ninja." And, like, you know, that just, like, stayed in my mind forever because I didn't know the show. I was just like, what the hell? Like... That's funny because I don't remember ever saying that on stream before, but sure, maybe I said it. Song. Ratmus gave me the controls and I tried the jump rope game and I just randomly, the first try, somehow I got to 66. And I was like, that's as good as we're going to do. We got the 30, you know. And I just put down the controller.
Wonderful pictures of them.
Yes, Babylon 5 had a customizable card game as well. Do we have some cards from that?
I think we do.
No, I definitely don't believe you. He was, like I said, as a little kid, he was on Lost in Space, and he was in a famous episode of The Twilight Zone.
Didn't he do some, like, Alfred Hitchcock stuff?
He might have. His name is Bill Mummy, so I call him the Mummy.
You call it Bruce Boxleitner.
The Box.
They're best friends, and one would definitely not betray.
Whoa, here's a signed action figure of his character. Have you ever seen much of the old Twilight Zone episodes, Doom? He was in this famous episode where I think, like, he was a kid that, like, he had, like, telepathic powers or something, so, like, if all the adults didn't do, like, everything that he said, he would basically, like, murder them with his mind. It's New Badonkadonk City, Ramimi. And yeah, that totally counts, Doom. Obviously it doesn't. What kind of freak drew this picture?
What kind of freaky stuff is this? Do another one.
But we're all superstars on the inside, though.
40? Do we look for that one?
Off the beaten wire. In the area with the rewiring the neighborhood power moon.
I know which one that is.
Did you get 39?
Yeah.
Well, you go in this fucking door here.
Okay.
Let's see. West of New Donk City Hall, I find a locked door. That's the craziest thing, Ramimi, is the people who live in this town. The Mario Wiki refers to them as New Donkers. So, like, it says the player can find a locked door being guarded by a New Donker. Like, all these people right here, they are New Donkers.
I thought I got the one in here.
Clearly there's another one.
Maybe, like, I need to go in here. No.
Do you know the name of this moon?
Hold on a second. There was one one for that time thing, and then there was one here, and it says there's one more.
That's crazy.
These donkers from Yonkers.
A yonker is a young donker. Wait. I saw it for a second and then I hit the bump and took a beep. Okay, here it is.
Is there like one of those a-hole alien things that I need to find that's on a person's head, or?
Actually, yes. That's what it is. Alright, Visong. In this area, the player must wait for a specific new donker wearing a bonneteer on his head.
That's why I guess is to like look at them from behind.
It came from behind. Wait, is that? Okay, there's a shadow. Blind.
Are you looking at Donker? I'm talking to you.
Rumimi, what if you made that, but you made it into a Monte Cristo and then called it...
Here we go.
No, because the hat is not insane like that.
That wasn't 40.
No, it was not. It was 75.
Now we're ahead of Monte Cristo. Bennigan's.
I told you, west of the city hall, you can find this locked door, and it will take you to an area where the moon is.
This bozo. Just called me out. Chained to the building inspector and then the guy.
A Monte Cristo sandwich is a fried ham and cheese sandwich, a variation of the French croque monsieur. So it's basically a grilled cheese, but also with ham, pretty much. Yeah, and a lot of times there's like some sort of sweet jelly element to it.
I went to Bennigan's with my friend and his girlfriend, my girlfriend.
Sometimes covered in powdered sugar and served with maple syrup or preserves.
But like they had this deal just for that day, which I didn't know about until we got there. But you get a Monte Cristo, you get one to take home.
God damn it! Now I want a Monte Cristo.
Blame yourself. And you're going that day, right?
Song introduced me to this sandwich. This is a Monte Cristo at the restaurant Cheddar Scratch Kitchen. It's with a side of corn, but you see there's like a jelly or raspberry jelly or preserves that you're supposed to dip the sandwich in. And it's a hot ham and cheese sandwich wrapped inside a jelly donut, basically. And now I've made everyone fucking hungry, yes.
JFK.
Hot damn, exactly. Alright, so what are we looking for in here?
The bonus one?
The player should look for a shiny wooden crate hidden on a side building accessible via the first spark pylon. So, where did you enter?
From this way here.
Here?
Yeah.
Okay, 'cause I don't see see what it's talking about, and it's like first spark pylon. There's like literally 4 or 5 of them. Is it this one? Look down off the side of that garbage can. Is there anything down there? No. Maybe it's over here. I don't know. Looks like, you know, this might be the back of a sign, but that's not really. Wait, go back up that thing, and then exit on top.
Okay, yeah, here we go. Some dumb shit.
I pronounced that "oh juice."
I watched a wonderful video that I'm sure Dude doesn't care about, but like they had a horse carriage thing. Like I think they might still have the original kind of horse carriage thing at Disneyland, but they had like a fire engine that was pulled by horses that you could ride for like 5 years, and then like it started to break down. They said, "Fuck it."
Did Walt Disney himself drive it?
I'm gonna say yes. You know, when he had the park to himself and he wanted to, because you know he could close the park down and get drunk. You know, it's his place. 43.
If he, you know, closed down the park and got drunk, you know, isn't that just acting like a dirty carny?
No, because he's got money. I like also read that like on the.
Wait. So what you're saying is Walt Disney said, carnies are crazy. I'm eccentric.
Yes.
Because he's rich. And he said that to Keanu Reeves in 1955 after he closed Disneyland for the coronavirus outbreak of 1955. This is an alternate timeline.
I think like on the Mark Twain, like he had like a secret stash of like whiskey or something. From another thing that I read, 43 you said?
In the southwestern corner of the kingdom near the Crazy Cap shop, the player can find a manhole cover on the street.
A man bun?
Which will take you into a wonderful hellhole to get 2 moons.
I have to live in this hellhole.
Alright, I'm gonna BRB while you figure this crap out. Sadie's head is right by your chair. What's what you're doing? Wants to get brain damage.
The man rock disturbed the pump. Did they do this already, or this must be a different one? This is a fun puzzle, though. Puzzle pieces. I'm sure there's a gimmicky thing in here or something. Yes. Because that's just how I roll, alright? Apparently there's that. But yeah, I also subscribe to that like one like channel that I think they want to like. They have this. They want to send you a flash drive that has like a bunch of like not only information but like old 50s and 60s like footage, which like looks very interesting. But I think they want like $100 or something for it. Got the moon. I guess I can always go get more coins too. Because like the channel is nice because they like show you some like brief snippets, but I mean it is like amazing seeing that stuff from the early years. Well, hey pizza. How's that Tetris?
With friends?
Shit. Someone's walking the dinosaur.
Whoa.
Wanted me to like jump off and at least get the coins, but
I read that as you wanted to see how things are going since I don't care. Hey pizza, how's it going? Is this the area under the manhole or somewhere else?
I got the 2 in that. This
Okay.
is something else. I just
You got 97 purple coins. Big jump escape. Okay, that got both moons here. I'm assuming if there's only 2.
Yeah.
Alright, so where are the last 3 coins you're missing?
well, they're not in here. Hopefully they're all just together in one like final spot. Go, go, go.
Wow.
Totally this part of it, right?
Oh god, they were...
I say what?
So we're done with this hellhole.
I'm gonna pull you back in, yes. Interesting view.
Couldn't you have seen those the first time? Who the hell is clapping?
Yes. The hell's driving and no bear is driving. By that last thing, is that straight? On my face, bitch. Whoa. Have you listened to his new album, Doom? It's gonna change your life.
Actually, I haven't even listened to his new album.
I put it in my phone so I can listen to it in the car. You're a good ass, you're goody two shoes. It's like one of his phrases I think he says. Let's see, 53.
30 was the jump ropes, right?
Yeah.
'53 art.
Art Deco.
The hint art is located on a slightly lower ledge facing the city hall. What do you mean a bird? Basically, DK's music is like in Nintendo Capri Sun's Let's Plays to Doom. Doom's a little behind. What was the last album you heard? Sparicia?
Where do you think it is?
Let's see. Oh, okay. On the triangular-shaped building where the trumpeter was found, the player should look for the hint art located on a slightly lower ledge facing the city hall. So Aren't you on City Hall right now?
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Alright. So you need to look at that picture.
Okay, you gotta jump down here to take this thing and go all the way up.
So what you're saying is you gotta get down to get up again? What about fashion show?
Is there like a let go button?
Probably, but they just don't tell you what it is. Guess what? Now I need to go back to Lake Kingdom. What do you mean a bird? Yeah, that's the next one. The bird holding the power moon travels around the east side of the city. Mario can jump off certain buildings, street lights, or taxis in order to catch the bird.
Just watch follow that bird.
On VHS.
DVD.
Let me see. Actually, DK has released a surprising amount of new albums in the last few years. Slay the Summer and Stocktober, Dismember, December. Those two albums I really liked. His two more recent ones are getting into a more like, they're kind of similar where they're going off into a weird like goth Dracula mode, which is fine. You know, I still like them, but probably not as much as some of the other ones. Clearly, I just need to do, you know, more late night DOS Wheel of Fortune streams with only DK music because that's the only stuff I can legally clear.
I wonder if that place, like, I got them at, often, like, Nosferatu, like, you know, drawing from. I wonder if that store, like, closed because of everything.
Probably. Like, I don't know if it's ever going to get any higher than it is, so I need to... Like, I think the picture here shows him bouncing off a taxi. So what else can we discuss that's not horrible?
So what do you think of the potato salad?
I thought it was fine, like just like this regular accepted premiere. The Last of Us 2 director warns that you might not like the game.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stupid controversy with that shit.
GTA 5 coming to PS5 in 2021 will be expanded and enhanced. How about making new fucking games and not making people pay over and over again for the same goddamn game?
What are you talking about? It's crazy talk.
Clearly. I must be crazy with my crazy opinions. Doom, I read that as that's a great thing for a dictator to say, and I was confused. Got Game Boy Advance?
Hell yeah, son.
No, and I don't want one. Your answer is yes, I still have one, but haven't touched it in a while?
Yes.
This is the GameFAQs poll, by the way.
You know, mention toss salad in Oscar the Grouch voice because I'm following that bird.
breakfast, tossed salads, and scrambled eggs. Again? Alright, Doom, I'm on the food message board of Game Facts. Is champagne negatively affected if it's stored at a high temperature? I'm just gonna, read out topic titles and, not investigate them further.
Why the fuck would you even think about doing that? Please come down to ground level.
Does your Wawa sell burritos?
Does your Wawa sound like a turntable?
Who here even has a Wawa? Clearly not shaking the Joy-Con or something you're supposed to be doing. What if there was hot wine, like tea, Earl Grey hot, like hot sake? I have no idea. You're supposed to long jump to it. Catfish. Anyone enjoy eating it?
Catfish. Have you been catfished? You gotta tell me.
Anyone enjoy getting catfished? Nice. Arnold Palmer, half iced tea, half lemonade. Are you a fan of this?
So 53 is in the lake place. So what's 55?
You never did the Mario name?
I assumed I did, so like... Just spell out Mario, I guess. I'll spell out Odyssey right now. You're back in the old base with Mario.
Do you have a high tolerance for burnt/overcooked food? I think I do, when it comes to meat.
You gotta have nice char on there.
What exactly is unhealthy about diet sodas? I mean, come on.
Here we go! What's the one after this?
Something that Vegeta doesn't want to hear. Surprise, clown!
Oh god.
You need to put on the fucking clown suit.
Fucking clown. Should be like his son and dress in the wedding dress. Do I even have that? I need to buy it. It's like I thought this was the Barney song for a second.
It isn't? Yes.
The good guys wear clown makeup. Or the phrase putting a hat on a hat takes it to 11.
What did he say? I can do that all day?
Yes.
At the very northwest corner of New Donk City proper, Mario can find a new donker.
You need to surprise him and give him a heart attack until he dies.
Sure. Here's a topic called Ode to Tater Tots. I bet Cobra would love that topic.
Ode to tater salad.
Okay, this is terrible. Like, okay, there's a topic called Ode to Tater Tots. So, I mean, this guy better have a fucking good poem about tater tots. Instead, this is what we get.
I don't know if I did this dog digging thing though.
Can someone explain to me why there are 3 things of sweet relish in the fridge but no fucking dill pickles?
Sounds like a mother.
Do you have a parent who's responsible for that, Ramimi? Because, our dad is responsible for a lot of stupid jars of things being in the fridge, like, way after their expiration date. Just kick that football off into oblivion.
It's not football season anyway.
Football! Whoa, we found something. Sit, Sadie, sit. Good dog. Ruff!
Meet this guy while he's over here.
He's on a ledge, on some building that's overlooking something. Where did I say? Northwest or something?
Mm-hmm.
Northwest corner. I could have a tuna sandwich. I still have freaking spaghetti and meatballs to eat.
This looks like over here. Fucking cow!
Immediately change outfits and never wear that again.
Yes. Waluigi one.
Wait, is this a grilled cheese sandwich for Mimi?
With ham?
Because our mom is weird, and she likes to eat, like, cheese and pickle sandwiches that are not grilled and have nothing on them except cheese and pickles and maybe mayonnaise. And, like, to me, I just can't get behind a sandwich unless it has meat in it.
Well, just like Sean Combs.
Remember when we didn't have no P. Diddy?
Yes.
Remember before Donkey Kong Country when we didn't have no Diddy?
Yes.
That is just so fucking wrong.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna...
Like, okay, yeah, second thought. She's a fucking freak, alright? Mm. See, I don't like cream cheese at all. But I can understand, like, I've never had pickles on a grilled cheese, but I think it would be good. But every time I've had grilled cheese, and people are like, oh, grilled cheese is the best, and I'm just like, kind of like, where's the meat? I need ham on mine, clearly.
59.
Sphinx in the City, Doom's favorite TV show. Go to Southern Cranky Avenue, because you know where that is, right?
I do not, but street side. Okay, here's Cranky Avenue, so...
Yeah, like, I totally see how, how it could take the place of mayo in a grilled cheese, for sure.
There's a Sphinx flying around somewhere.
It should be right next to the taxi. Oh, okay, well, I guess maybe it varies. I think because... What did I say? No, I was being sarcastic because, I've never watched Sex and the City. I don't know anything about it, but apparently I knew more about it than you, because we were talking about a Super Bowl commercial one time, and you didn't know, like, what the hell the point was. So I guess I was being sarcastic.
60.
A new donker has started another scooter parking service atop the building at the intersection of Cranky and Northern Squawks Park. Find the scooter at the top of New Donk City Hall, mount it, then jump all the way down to the eastern buildings.
Okay.
What, it said something about The parking space is near the green Koopa Troopa for Koopa freebasing.
Okay. So that's over here. Or, no, over here, yeah.
My mom said that when she was pregnant with me, she ate a lot of White Castles and a lot of Chinese food. Yeah, it's right there. Like, Ratmus, you just killed that cone. It could have been a person.
They were cones. My first and only customer.
What was the thing? Oh yeah, I was watching an episode of MASH.
61.
Scope of freebasing.
Right here, I can try a little base.
I was watching an episode of MASH where the female nurse, Major Margaret Houlihan, thought she might be pregnant, and she told the colonel that she thought she might be pregnant, and then like they both knew that she might be pregnant, and yet she took like a drink with everyone else of like I forget, whiskey, bourbon, whatever it was, but she was totally fine. You know, like the colonel knowing that she might be pregnant and she knowing that she might be pregnant was fine drinking whiskey or whatever alcohol it was. You know, that show was from the 70s, but, you know, takes place, you know, during the 1950s, so, you know, that was fine back then, apparently. That just, you know, because the first thing I thought of was Doom's mom drinking wine while she was pregnant, but I thought, oh, no one would ever do that, but then I remembered that. I mean, obviously not back then. They thought smoking was wonderful, right?
Went the total wrong way, I suppose.
You went the complete wrong direction? Who would ever do that? I don't, you know, I didn't fly very much on planes, but I definitely remember, like, no smoking signs, like, you know, being temporarily turned on and off.
And just, you know, no security.
I totally remember, you know, even when Ratmus and I were teenagers, you know, going up to Wisconsin and the restaurants had, like, no smoking areas, or if they did, like, it would just, there was, like, no division whatsoever, so, like, even though you were in the no smoking section, the entire restaurant was, like, filled wall to wall with frickin' tobacco smoke. Remember that?
Yes.
Like, I believe Wisconsin was one of the last states to, like, outlaw smoking in public buildings.
I remember the one place, like, we used to go to for breakfast, and, like, they just had smoking, and it's like, fuck you.
That's, you know, basically what I was referring to was the Cecil Diner, and, like, that's why we stopped going there. Like, thankfully, there, you know, became way better restaurants than that, because it was never that good. I don't know what the fuck you're supposed to do there.
Fuck this. Alright, 62.
Oh, God. A bonneteer on the intersection of Cranky Avenue and Squawks Park Street, which is a great intersection, says two of his friends have wandered off. One of them is in New Donk City proper, riding on the head of a man who walks along the sidewalks of Eastern Cranky Avenue. It's basically that, area by where the jump rope is.
For the first thing, or?
I don't know if there is a second thing. Not anywhere near. Okay, so like that guy. That's him. Please tell me you already have 63.
Nope. 53 to 65.
And then generator room of the underground power plant that I thought we were done with.
Pulling you back in.
What is a man, anyways? This is an actual topic on GameFAQs food message board.
So you were talking about this place, right?
Sort of. This might be, after you go through that pipe. Okay. Apparently, what it is there was a recipe in the New York Times for some sort of queso dip, and this guy was saying that it was lit AF. Like Ben Affleck's Hot Package, as we all know. Because, from the topic, I was very confused, but then when I saw it was like a link to a recipe from the New York Times, I was like, oh, okay.
Come on.
I don't know why the New York Times is publishing queso recipes instead of, covering our society falling apart, but whatever. How to make a taco.
With the help.
It links to a YouTube video of how to make a taco. Okay.
Okay, in here.
Some sort of puzzle with that thing. Yeah, I guess you didn't do this before? I don't even want to know what you're talking about, Ramimi.
Alright, 64.
There is a movie theater on the west side and north end of Cruel Avenue.
Cruel Dandy Avenue?
No, like King K. Rool. Yeah, weren't we supposed to, order curbside pickup from Jersey Mike's because, their food is better than the person trying to talk to you?
Yes. You said the north side of something?
I don't know what I said. On the west side and north end of Cruel Avenue, and no, it doesn't have a picture what the hell that's talking about. Let's look for a fucking movie theater. Those who know, know. Actually look at the street signs would help.
Espresso.
This person actually shows where it is on the map.
Over here.
That's at that top of that triangle intersection of streets.
It's like some people just don't know how to guide. It's right here.
No. It's there. Oh, Ratmus doesn't give a shit. Okay, is there a secret one in here too?
Probably.
Hey, do the Mario. Except you're Waluigi for some reason. I love how the people are just sitting there, you know, watching this bored out of their fucking minds. They're like, you call this a movie? Go down the next pipe. It's a secret moon that no one saw coming.
Except everybody.
Especially my Twitch stream, which is awesome. Give me money. Why didn't you try to, you know, see if there was a hidden one-up block there where there's supposed to be?
I forgot. Alright. Your mom. I want power-ups.
Ratmus is gonna die in 1-1. You have to be a fucking noob to do that. Yay! In this case, we don't have to ask who the hell is clapping. Yay!
I'll take it off. It's like, that's it. Next are all these ones, like 73 and 74. Guessing 74 is racing that asshole for the second time.
It is.
What's 73? Ground pounded somewhere?
No, the RC car mini game under 26 seconds.
70,
that.
what's 76?
Near the area that the handbag was, the player can find a moon pipe which leads to a bonus area.
Moonshine. Looking for something out of the ground.
As was I. Must climb a mountain of blue platforms in a dark room while avoiding the ogres. Also, if you find a glowing spot located on a small platform separate from the main mountain,
Ground pounded.
there are hidden blocks that Mario can see by throwing Cappy at them, allowing you to get there.
I'll never know. Your shitty nose.
Oh shit, he's good. Watch out for that ogre.
Reaching the AVAP. Food?
supposed to say blah 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 blah. Here we go. I found this article wonderful. Well, I don't know if you can call it an article. I never cared much for those pies. I definitely remember those weird coffee stirring things, even though I was a kid and I never drank coffee. But yeah, like this right here is like basically the McDonald's of my childhood. I thought they still had this old school breakfast.
78.
Like I have eaten that, not very often because I prefer the sandwiches. 78 is on those. On top of one of the buildings south of a triangular building with the ground pound switch, the player can find a moon pipe. Oh, it's a moon pipe.
And then there's 2 in there.
Yeah. I definitely remember these chairs.
I need to take Sadie out, so you can you do that with the races?
We're talking about McDonald's. Yeah, we still have some, like, actually, we have, I swear, like, we have, I think 2 of these, Batman Forever cups. I think we might have had the one on second from the 2 in the middle, basically. It looks like a smaller one with the Riddler and then a slightly larger one with Batman. I think we had those 2. And we had them for many, 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 many years after we got them. We were still using them. But I don't know where they are now. They might be like hidden in the back of a cabinet somewhere. I don't think we lost them or broke them. I swear we at least still have one of those, if not both, somewhere. Yeah, we definitely have a couple of these Transformers. I know we have the hamburger one. Actually, I think we have this one up here that's a hamburger, and then we have like this one down here that's the ice cream cone, and maybe one of the other ones, I'm not sure. I definitely remember being small enough and little enough and young enough to go into one of these Mayor McCheese heads. And yeah, if they took those away because like, oh, kids will get hurt and we'll get sued and, you know, fucking crybaby society, like that's a fucking shame. Or maybe kids don't care about them because they just want to play with iPads. Well, this was my fucking childhood right there. And yeah, I remember those weird benches. And yes, this fucking styrofoam and McDLT, that was also my childhood. These Halloween buckets, we have at least 2 of the orange ones, if not 3. For whatever reason, I don't remember ever having a green or a white one, but we still have to this day at least 2 of the orange buckets. I kind of remember that, you know, the mixed salad is from the 90s. Like, do they not have these cookies anymore? Because I totally remember these fucking cookies from my childhood. Like, why would they even stop these? That's ridiculous. Anyways. What the hell am I supposed to do? On top of one of the buildings south of a triangle, like, yeah, like these directions are so unhelpful. No, I'm not doing the fucking jump rope again. South of a triangular building with a ground pipe to the pair can find a moon pipe. Okay, is it what I'm looking at right here? I can't believe I made that. Let's see if it's this. No, this is not it. is this? I have no fucking clue where this building is. Did Sadie deserve those treats? Okay, there it is.
Yeah, up that. There's like that one and that one there.
This one.
Okay.
Didn't hurt at all.
Don't, brothers.
Look for an area with a set of breakable blocks on the far left side. I think we need a hammer, bro.
One of you, damn it. These fuckers are hopping and bopping, alright?
These fuckers are high.
Scaffold coming away from the wall, a couple went down the bushes.
Like you said, scaffolding come up huevos.
I don't have the huevos for this scaffolding.
Does Ratmus have the huevos to get this moon?
And to make an omelet.
If you want to make an omelet, you gotta break a few huevos. A Mexican chef told me that.
Yeah, land right on the fuck me, bastard. Alright, I should take it a little bit slower.
You just need to get good. Do you even need to be a hammer,
Well,
bro?
you probably don't. Maybe I'll just be, you know, here we
Be
go.
me.
Hop, skip, and I never went.
Yes.
I don't want to do that.
Because of that McDonald's 80s nostalgia thing, I decided to Google 80s nostalgia and see what would come up. And the first thing it came up with is 20 things all 80s kids remember. Number 1, tuning into the final episode of MASH. First of all, you'd have to be an 80s kid who was alive in 1983. Second of all, I know it was the most watched show or whatever, but what fucking 3-year-old was tuning into MASH and saying, "Yeah, I love that Korean War drama"?
Yes. I see.
What now?
Alright, so we got a few boners. There's the racing thing. I can try to do that in under 26 seconds.
Hey, I know I pulled a few boners. I mean, you basically all the ones that you have left are shitty ones. So you could theoretically leave here and go to the Lake Kingdom and pick that one up if you want and try something else.
Do that next. But first, let's.
Being riveted by the rescue of baby Jessica. Okay, that one I vaguely remember hearing about when it was happening. That was the first ever kid to ever fall down a well before it was popular and cool. Learning to just say no, yes. Hanging out with the Smurfs, yes. Trying to learn the moonwalk, yeah, no, I was way too young for that. Listening to music on a Walkman for the first time, I mean, I did that. I don't specifically remember it. Where was Lassie? Good question. Not doing her job, clearly. Learning that Darth Vader was Luke's father. I mean, I did learn that.
I mean, I guess.
I saw it taped off. I saw those movies taped off of TV first, I believe.
You watched Christmas special or whatever?
No, I did not watch that. Feeling inspired by Hands Across America. No, that was
bullshit.
That was 1986. I don't remember that happening or being a big deal. Being horrified by the Challenger explosion. I mean, I don't think I was one of those kids who watched it live in school. I don't think we did that. If we did, I probably didn't remember it anyways, because you know me, but I don't remember watching it live. Doing the Super Bowl shuffle? Hell yes, we had that VHS tape. You know, being from Chicago, you were legally obligated to worship the Chicago Bears in 1985, just like you were legally obligated. Just like you were legally obligated to worship Michael Jordan and the Bulls in the 90s. It even says you didn't need to love football to memorize every lyric, and I was like, well, you kind of had to live in Chicago, otherwise. I mean, Ratmus and I used to watch that VHS video and make fun of it. Watching after-school specials, I did not really do that. I watched, Batman the Animated Series after school and shit like that. Seeing Greg Louganis hit his head on the diving board at the 1988 Olympics? No, I was not watching the 1988. I never watched the Olympics until curling came along. That was like 2008 or something when I started watching that. Getting a little frightened when a computer was named Man of the Year in 1982. Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's totally what happened with me.
Opening Trapper Keepers. Okay, I remember the Trapper Keeper being, a big deal that a lot of people had, but that was like, I remember that being for more like the rich, cool kids, and all I ever used was folders. Because I wasn't really interested in having a giant fucking thing to carry all this shit in. Missed it by that much, huh?
Yes.
So according to Doom, you can do it, Ratmus. You can do it. Spoilers, you can't do it. Watching President Reagan say, tear down this wall. Yeah, no, again, I didn't want, how many political things did I actually want? The political thing I remember watching live was Bill Clinton playing the saxophone. And I remember the Exxon Valdez, that was a big deal in school. I watched a little of Pee-wee's Playhouse, but not as much as maybe I would have liked. Watching movies on a Betamax, yeah, no. Having nightmares about Teddy Ruxpin, we lynched him and we're proud of it.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Identifying with characters in John Hughes movies, yeah, no. Because I was 4 years old when The Breakfast Club came out, so I was... If anything, I identified with, Claire Danes in My So-Called Life, because she's the same age as me, apparently.
Couldn't it be 27 seconds?
Now there's 50 things that only people who lived in the 1980s remember. Keeping your valuables in a fanny pack? Yes.
Space Ghost loves that.
Waiting all afternoon for your favorite video on MTV? No, because I never had MTV until 1997. Constantly anticipating nuclear war? No. Even my mom, who lived through the Cuban Missile Crisis, doesn't remember any of that. Again, with the series finale of MASH.
Is that important to someone?
I mean, I watched the series finale of MASH and every other episode syndicated around 1989 or so. I was watching them. Only wearing neon fashion. Ratmus and I were not the pinnacles of fashion in the 80s.
I think I did it.
Holy shit, you did it, GG. It says from leg warmers to oversized tops to members-only jackets.
The RC chump.
What my mom always tells me is that they said to, put your head between your legs, and then, what they didn't tell you was that was so you could kiss your ass goodbye. And, I'm sure that was, very controversial for a kid to be saying ass and, when you're 7 years old. I don't think the nuns at her school, if she had nuns, which I don't think she did, would be saying that.
Let's go to lake bed then. Another one. Dude, he got it. He's amazing.
Okay, the water plaza in the Lake Kingdom. It seems like it. I'm not sure which building. Maybe this one, but it's higher up.
Okay.
There's that cylinder. So. Gotta be fucking exact with this. Somewhere around here. Looks like it should be it. Was over there. Alright, look at your list because I haven't updated the Metrosexual Kingdom.
Okay.
Might be easier to tell me. There's 85, so how many are you missing?
30, 61, and 74. Yeah, those three.
So that should be 82?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. You had how many moons before coming here? 686, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, you're in the Lake Kingdom.
What's number 9?
Number 9. At the start of the spiky tunnel near the beginning of the kingdom, the player can find a seed. The Macintosh Super Bowl commercial. Obviously, I did not watch it in 1984, but I, remember seeing it many years later on, best commercials of all time. Lady Diana becoming Princess Diana. New Coke.
I don't remember this place.
Oh god, this is one of the worst fucking moons in the game, or probably two of the worst. I like Buckingham Blues.
Go bowling.
Okay, so yeah, the one is just survive to get to where you saw that moon. That one's not so hard as the fucking getting
a key.
Getting that key is even harder. So. Wait, Buckingham Blues? Wait, I'm thinking of generic blues. Nice bail.
Take that, you dumb frog.
Yeah, I remember this one being a huge pain in the ass, so good luck with that. Like, I remember drinking Coke 2 when it was Coke 2. You know, I was too young for the whole new Coke thing. I was too young for Max Headroom.
Here's a BB biatch.
I definitely did not see President Reagan's assassination attempt. Yeah, I love generic blues. Crafting a mixtape. I mean, of course I made tons of mixtapes.
We all did.
Not for girls to give them to that I was interested in. Hell no. I mean, I've probably talked about this before, but Ratmus and I used to, you know, we would always just record ourselves talking and goofing around on cassette tapes, you know, including the one where we beat Wart for the first time. But we have a box full of tapes that's, you know, God knows what's on there. I mean, there's some with phone pranks, there's some with, like, you know, mixtapes like Weird Al and other things, and then there's some with us, you know, just talking and doing God knows what. Buying your first VCR. Well, I didn't buy our first VCR, and I think our family's first VCR was the VCR that came with, you know, Dad's camera. Well,
probably.
Well, at least that's the first one that I remember. That, according to what he said, you know, his company gave that to him. I obviously never called someone on a landline phone to ask them out. Garfield phone? I like a Garfield phone. Okay, I've seen a lot of, like, you know, character phones, but, like, look at the picture that they chose for Garfield phone.
Oh, that from,
You know what that's from?
Yeah, because, like, the Cinema Snob did this, like, I forget what movie that's from, but some, like, was that George Harrison or whatever? I forget the name of that actor, but, like, yeah, he used that in, like, a movie, and it was, you know, ridiculous. It was, you know, some, like, Chinese made.
I don't know who or what you're talking about, alright? Oh, it says, here's an example of one in the 1985 movie Ninja Terminator. Yeah, George Harrison is a Beatle. So, who the hell are you talking about? Richard Harrison?
Yeah, George Harrison's brother.
He's still alive. Very prolific in European B-movies. I wonder if he was in that crazy movie that A.V. Jim was talking about in Trolls 2. Okay, hold on. Remember, this article is called 50 Things Only People Who Lived in the 1980s Will Remember. Number 17 is using Dawn to clean birds during the Exxon Valdez oil spill.
Yeah, something we both did.
Like, I mean, it makes it sound like that was an experience that everyone had. Like I said, I definitely remember the Exxon Valdez oil spill and seeing it in class, in school, and it was a big thing at the time. But no, I did not personally go to Alaska and clean birds with Dawn. I mean, I know that people do that after every oil spill. Like even in the recent one in the Gulf, people did that. Dawn has commercials about it.
Dawn caused it.
That's some Dead Rising 2 shit right there. Like if Dawn was like, shit, our stock prices are going down. Nobody's buying Dawn, so we have to engineer an oil spill so that they'll need Dawn again. Like, that's basically what the plot of Dead Rising 2 is. They're like, oh shit, nobody's buying our zombie medication, so we have to engineer a zombie outbreak so that people will need our drug again. Wanting to live like Ferris Bueller. Again, like, I was even too young for Ferris Bueller at the time.
One teacher wasn't working.
Yes, just like DK was in that episode of Early Edition, I had a high school teacher who was an extra in the background of Ferris Bueller. Alright, tell me the next moon you're missing.
I'm still doing number 9. I just got sidetracked. You said it was like by the start.
I'm getting hungry. At the start of the spiky tunnel near the beginning of the kingdom. Yeah, I don't think I did either. Mr. T pitying his first fool.
Never forget your first fool of pity, right?
I don't know how much I was able to watch the A-Team when I was a kid because I was too young when it was originally on, and I just don't remember it being syndicated a lot when I was growing up.
The spike thing.
It should be right fucking there. Or maybe I don't know. Maybe it's around near one of those oxygen things. I don't know. Look for near an oxygen thing. So maybe I saw like parts of it somewhere somehow when I was a kid. But I think around like 1999 or 2000 is when they were airing episodes of the A-Team on like TV Land, and like that was a channel that I got. That was when I started recording A-Team off TV Land, and I do remember watching the show then around the time when I was in college, and then later on I got the DVDs. But yeah, I definitely did not watch it when I was a kid. The Magic Johnson-Larry Bird rivalry. See, I don't remember that. I remember the Michael Jordan-Larry Bird rivalry, where, like, there were commercials, like, was it a video game?
Like Jordan versus Bird, yeah.
Yeah, it was called, like, Jordan versus Bird, but Ratmus called it Jordan versus a Bird. We were talking about, like, any random bird flying around. Like, you wanted a game where Michael Jordan just versed a bird.
Maybe I put the seed in there and it didn't grow yet. I think it's like in
let me see here.
Yeah, here it is.
Okay. Are there more seeds or is that it? I don't see any other ones here, so thank God.
23.
Wait, you skipped 16. Is that horrible?
16. What's that?
From the underwater entrance checkpoint, the player should capture a Cheep. You want to swim up to the surface where a mermaid lady will fall in love with the Cheep. Oh, God. Maybe in that donut hole here. Is that sealed?
Looks sealed, yes.
Okay, you can be a fish out of water. Won't screw you like a pot of boot. Get in the water.
Streaker though. Alright, 23.
Super secret zipper. In the secret area with the Unzip the Chasm Power Moon, which is near the Water Plaza entrance, there's an underwater door. Oh my god, Doom! I saw a hilarious video on YouTube of Mark Hamill, and I should find it again because if you haven't seen it, it's pretty awesome.
Do I have to go on this door?
No. Is that the right door? This door.
Okay.
No, I don't want to Google Mark Hamill. I need to go to YouTube.
That's just a puzzle. I'm looking at the wrong place.
Not only does he do a great Harrison Ford impression, like he sounds more like Harrison Ford than Harrison Ford does. Like I can't even tell the difference. But like he talks, the funny thing he talks about relates to the Garbage Masher scene. All right, so did you get it?
No, that was something else. So there's just
Near the Water Plaza entrance, the player should look for it. Oh, it's behind a zipper.
okay over here.
Yeah. Okay, so look for a hidden row of blocks near the start. This will lead Mario to a secret zipper. Okay, so this is this. Isn't this?
I think that's this one here is the T-shaped one. If there aren't other ones.
Okay, well, here's the regular moon, so I don't know how this is near the start. Fuck. Okay, wait, is it that way?
Okay.
I thought it was a trap.
Yeah. $24.
Let's see, I'm 24. Near the Water Plaza Terrace, the player should look for a hidden door along the northern wall. Being obsessed with solving a Rubik's Cube, yeah. I've messed around with them, but I can't solve them for shit. Everyone thinks greed is good. Cabbage Patch Dolls. Flipping tapes to the other side. Well, of course.
So you get side B.
I don't know. How does Doom get side B in a game, Celeste? Okay, there's two wonderful moons here. The player should ride the top of the final moving block up to a hidden bouncy flower.
Okay.
Whatever you do, don't touch Fuzzy.
Don't touch Fozzie either.
Trying to find out who shot JR. Yeah, I had to do that to tell DK's friend that he was horribly wrong. I never learned how to break dance. I Never hit the arcade on a Friday night unless I was at Indiana Beach. White Snake.
We'll ride this way up or something. It's not. Or maybe. Oh, I think I see what it is. Oh, shit.
Miracle on Ice.
Miracle on Ice.
I remember the Miracle on Ice.
Remember satellite surfing being where it's at.
Damn right, I remember satellite surfing.
At the club.
Playing with a Nintendo Game Boy.
That sounds like you.
It sounds like something I'd do. I mean,
26.
I never owned one, and I don't play much portable games, but yes, I have played a Nintendo Game Boy back in the day. That's a clusterfuck of paintings in different kingdoms.
Okay, 27.
That's found with art, and maybe we should wrap this up because I'm hungry.
Okay.
Near the Odyssey, the player can find a set of stairs leading up to the courtyard. Wait. Yeah, okay.
Want the artwork over
Yeah,
there?
you see that artwork? Alright, now let's make a quick detour back to the Cascade Kingdom.
For some Cascade liquid gel.
Oh, we're almost at 700.
Someone's playing some Pokemon.
Song is playing Pokemon Sword. What the hell?
I can totally trade with you right now. I mean, what?
I'm gonna fall down and die from that surprise.
Here's this bozo.
See, like, where there's those dinosaur foot bones? Like, there's right around there. Okay, so the last thing on the 80s list is thinking that holding a boombox over your head in someone's lawn was romantic. What do you mean it wasn't? Alright, let's close that. Alright, so I need to update now how many you got in the Lake Kingdom, because I didn't update that at all.
Alright, let me go,
And then you'll go to Toadette.
yeah. So 32 plus one of those is a 3-fer.
So that would be 34.
Mm-hmm.
And you got 695 right now, right?
Yeah. One button. Dude, he got it. He made food.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know that scene either. I just know parodies of it. Is she though? Is she? Oh, before the stream started, somebody I don't know gave me a gift sub to a channel that I don't know. And I've never been there, but now I have those emotes.
Those are the best kind. Achieve something, jackass.
Let's hope she gives you 5.
There we went. There we went. Goats, just kidding. We're over 700. It's exactly 5.
We got exactly 5. Wow. So that would be 63 for a total of 700. There's still 3 kingdoms where you're missing some coins: Mushroom, Wooded, and Bowser's.
Yeah. Just like the new Badonkadonk City was so barren. 700 exams.
Alright, so you're still missing 53 moons here. 30 in Wooded, 10 in Lake, 1 in Lost, 3 in Metro, 19 in Snow, 11 in Seaside, 2 in Luncheon, 22 in Bowser's, 1 in Moon, 25 in Dark Side, which we haven't been back to, and 3 in the Darker Side, which is that horrible multi-moon challenge. So that's 700 down, 180 to go. By my count, you have 66 purple coins left. But as far as moons go, that is rounded up, it's 80% completion.
Wonderful. Said he wants the GTFO.
Who doesn't, right? Alright, Ratmus doesn't know this, but next Thursday there's a small possibility that we might skip Super Mario Odyssey and do something else for once.
Whoa.
But we'll see what happens. And then, obviously I'm continuing Dynasty Warriors 4 tonight. Hopefully it goes well. Next week, I'm not sure. I might do an Apex stream on Tuesday and do more Dynasty Warriors on Thursday. We'll just have to see what happens.
See how you feel.
See how I feel and what happens. Thanks everyone for watching, obviously. So yeah, I'll be back in about 2 hours or a little less maybe with Dynasty Warriors 4. Some people are streaming right now, but I don't care.
Ooh, sick burn.
Doom, when's your next Celeste stream? Because you totally know.
I don't know.
So we're going to have some bratwurst and GTFO. That's the end of the stream. Bye, everyone.